It's time that I took off my hat. I'm just kidding. I want to tell you a story about this hat and why it means so much to me. The first job that I had was at a company where if you made a lot of money or if you had a high position, you were deemed as important or valuable to the company. Um, and I was neither of those things. So I was working at this job and it was a great first job. But at the first corporate retreat, I remember being at this event and there's 500, 400 people. It's this huge event. And I remember going there and talking with people and being like face to face conversation. And you're like, hey, yeah, my name's Angel, blah, blah, blah. I do this. And then they're looking at me. And then the moment they see someone else, they're just like, immediately shut off the conversation and walk away. And I thought that was like a weird instance. Like, oh, maybe that guy was busy or was looking for his friend. But that like being shut off and like turned away happened like 4 or 5 times in a row. And that kind of like attitude or that event was a little bit within the company, but also that just happened a lot during that corporate retreat. I remember feeling so like a loser, basically. And I remember sneaking off to the side and going to this side area and just sitting down on a bench and looking at the birds and just thinking, like, man, I feel like such a loser, such a nobody, you know. Like I'm not even getting the time of day from people. I don't make a lot. I don't have a high paying position. Maybe I am a loser if all these people think that. And those feelings didn't just go away after the retreat ended, but it started boiling and boiling in me until that's what I felt about myself. I thought, like, I'm just a loser. I'm a nobody. And a couple weeks later, I got invited to go to a camp trip in Mexico, like as a youth camp leader. So I said yes, and I got to drive this like old rickety van all the way to Mexico and take some high school students and be a leader for them. And as we pull up to the camp, we could see like all the staff are all excited and they're going whoa, all crazy, and the camp leaders, as we're walking in, is giving us like pamphlets, and the camp leader is giving us pamphlets and little stickers that say, "Hello, my name is blank." And I'm like, oh, okay, that's weird. I sit down, and then the camp speaker starts talking about the pamphlet. It's like, oh yeah, tells us about God's who we are and like God's view, and like yeah, how this is what we'll be talking about throughout the week about identity. And honestly, most of the stuff he said, I kind of just went in one ear and out the other. It didn't really hit me until the following morning when I was sitting outside by myself at like 5 a.m. on this another bench, and I'm sitting in Mexico and just like looking out at the mountains, and I'm starting to read through this pamphlet, and two verses stood out to me, and under the section that said greatly loved. So I open up the pamphlet and I open up my Bible and I start looking at these verses. Colossians 3:12 and Ephesians 2:4. And this is what they say. Since God chose you to be the holy people he loves, you must clothe yourselves with tender-hearted mercy, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. So the first time I read that, I was like, wait. God chose me? Because it says, since God chose you to be the holy people he loves. And then I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Next verse, Ephesians 2:4-5. But God is so rich in mercy, and he loved us so much that even though we were dead because of our sins, he gave us life when he raised Christ from the dead. It is only by God's grace that you have been saved. So because of what Jesus did for me, I'm loved by God. And as I'm sitting there on the bench and just looking at these two verses, I'm thinking, wow, because of what Jesus did for me, I am greatly loved and I'm chosen by God. And I was so impacted by that I wrote down on that sticker, "Hello, my name is," and I wrote, "Greatly loved by God." I'm not a nobody. I'm not a loser. Even if everyone at my job thinks I am, it doesn't matter what they think. I am greatly loved and I'm chosen by God because of what Jesus did for me. And I love that little sticker so much that I stuck it on the bottom of my hat. And that was my favorite thing. And I had it for like a month or two, until it was on there, and I wear this hat a lot, that the sticker started peeling off. So I'm like, I don't want to lose this sticker. So instead, what I did is I wrote it on the inside of my hat. So who am I? I'm Angel. I'm greatly loved by God. Colossians 3:12, Ephesians 2:4. So that's why this is my favorite hat, and that's why I wear it all the time. It's a great reminder that I'm not a loser. I'm greatly loved by God.